Hello, my name is Chukwemeka Onyenizi, and you're welcome to the Naira Academy channel. If you're buying Nigerian bank stocks based on only brand name, you may be investing blind. Because the best banking stocks in 2026 will not be chosen by hype. It will not be chosen by popularity or what everybody is shouting online. They'll be chosen by real numbers. So today we're going to break down the top Nigerian banking stocks to watch in 2026 using a number of parameters. This is purely our own opinion. We're going to be looking at the top Nigerian banking stocks to watch in 2026 using their profits, the dividends, their earnings strength, the growth potential, the risk factors, and what smart investors are actually watching right now. Serious investors don't just ask which stock is moving, they ask which bank is making real money, which one rewards shareholders, which one can grow even in the harshest of economies, which one can grow through inflation, through FX pressure, through regulations, which one can still create wealth years from now, because we've seen a lot of banks come and go in Nigeria. So in this video, we're going to look at heavyweights in the banking sector, and we're going to look at 5 of them. We're going to look at Zenith Bank, GTCO, Access Holding, UBA, and First Bank. And I'll show you which ones will fit for dividend investors, for growth investors, for recovery opportunity seekers, and for long-term wealth builders. So if you want evidence and not noise, if you want numbers and not emotional investing, if you're serious about building wealth in the Nigerian stock market, then stay with me to the end. This video is for you. Now, let's start. Let's start with Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank declared profits just sometime this year. Shows that they have a profit after tax of, or they had a profit after tax of 1.041 trillion, which was slightly up from what they had in the previous year, the year before, which was at 1.033 trillion. Now, their profit before tax was at 1.26 trillion. Their gross earnings was at 4.19 trillion. Let's look at Zenith Bank's dividend strength. Zenith Bank has a dividend strength of they have a final dividend of 8.75 naira per share. They had an interim dividend of 1.25 naira per share, and they had a total dividend for 2025 of 10 naira per share, which was 100% higher than the prior year, talking about 2024. So in 2025, they paid out 10 naira. In 2024, they paid out 5 naira per share. That is a 100% increase. Now, let's look at why you should watch out for Zenith Bank in 2026. Number one is they are a strong earning machine. They've proved it with their numbers, right? They've proved it with their profit numbers. Zenith Bank has consistently remained among Nigeria's highest profit-making banks. So what it means for investors is that they have a better capacity to pay you dividends. It is one thing for a company to declare the dividend rates they want to pay out. It is another thing for them to have enough cash inflow to cover for the dividends. And Zenith Bank do have enough cash inflow to cover for the dividends they have told us they will pay out, right? So they stand in a better capacity to pay dividends. They have that ability to reinvest in growth, and they give you a stronger investor confidence. Another reason why you should look out for it in 2026 is their strong corporate banking dominance. So Zenith Bank is deeply trusted by multinationals, by large Nigerian companies, by exporters, by manufacturers, government-linked entities. And here, what it means is that large clients often bring bigger deposits and transaction volumes. And that is what helps the banks to stay afloat. Now, they also have a dividend culture, which another reason why you should look out for them is the dividend culture, number 3, right? So many Nigerian investors love Zenith Bank because it rewards shareholders regularly. Some investors literally buy Zenith for annual passive income. Number 4 is their strong risk management. So Zenith is known for relatively disciplined operations compared to many of their peers. Very disciplined operations. So you should watch out for it in 2026. If you want stability, if you want dividends, if you're looking for that blue chip reputation, right, in a Nigerian stock, Zenith deserves your attention. So Zenith is that steady landlord of the Nigerian bank stocks. Now, let's look at number 2, which is GTCO PLC, Guarantee Trust Bank. The latest profits declared released in 2026, profit after tax was at 865.75 billion. Profit before tax was at 1.23 billion. They had an interest income that went up by 23.2%, fee income went up by 25.9%. Their last dividend payout was 12.76 naira per share. And this is one of the strongest shareholder payouts in the market. Right? Now, why should we watch out for GTCO PLC in 2026? The Nigerian banking sector remains one of the most important wealth building sectors on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, whether we like it or not. And the reason is because banks sit at the center of the economy. They handle the deposits, the lendings, the business payments, the foreign exchange transactions, and so on and so forth. So when the economy grows, strong banks often benefit. When inflation rises, some banks can also increase earnings through higher interest margins. And that's the reason why a lot of experienced Nigerian investors watch out for the banking stocks. It is one for you to look out for. And it's very, very important that you look out for them. Now, specifically for GTCO, why should you look out for GTCO? Now, number one reason is strong brand trust. A lot of Nigerians see GT as a premium bank that is efficient, that is modern. So they have brand trust. And you see that trust attracts deposits, it attracts salary accounts, it attracts business customers, it attracts young digital users and so on. Number two is that they have a digital banking leadership, right? GTCO benefits heavily from transfer fees, digital transactions, app usage, payment volume. So as Nigeria becomes more digital, now it begins to matter more because the more digital they become, the more people are looking to bank more with GT. This is one of the reasons why you should look out for it. Another reason why you should look out for it is their structure. They have a very good structure, and that helps to keep them stable. Another reason is their strong dividend history. So GTCO is very popular when it comes to paying out dividends, especially for investors that want that annual income, that passive income. GTCO is one to look out for. Right? So if you want quality, if you want growth, if you want dividends, then you should watch out for GTCO. The next, number three on our list is Access Holding PLC. Now, looking at the last profits that were publicly declared, which was for FY24, we couldn't get our hands on their FY25 figures yet, right? So, but in FY24, which was declared in 2025, profit before tax was 867 billion, profit after tax was 642.2 billion, gross earnings was at 4.88 trillion naira. Let's look at their dividends. Now, as at FY24 or at the end of FY24, now paid in 2025, the final dividend was 2.05 naira per share. The total dividend stood at 2.5 naira per share. And Access paid out a total payout value of 125 billion to investors. Now, we do not have the FY25 figures yet. We hear that the board of Access has approved the dividend proposals for 2020 to be paid out this year in 2026, but it's still subject to CBN approval. When the information is out, we'll make it known to you. Now, why watch out for Access Holding? Number one is their spread across multiple African countries. So it means that income can come in from Nigeria, from East Africa, from Southern Africa, different trade corridors. Number two is their scale advantage. They have large customer base, right? And that large customer base would result to more deposits, more transactions, more lending power, right? Number three is they have aggressive growth management. So Access tends to pursue growth boldly, and they do this through acquisitions, through expansions, and through partnerships. Number four is the long-term continental story. So if Africa grows economically over time, large cross-border banks may benefit. And Access stands in the shoes to be among those that will benefit. So if you want growth potential, more than just dividend income, because they won't give you as much dividend as the previous ones that we've mentioned, Access deserves your attention. Okay? All right. The next is UBA PLC. Now, we also do not have the current figures for their FY25 profits yet. We're still awaiting the public release of their FY25 profits. Now, let's look at the dividends, the last dividends that they paid out. So the last dividend they paid, interim dividend, was at 0.25 naira per share. We do not have the final dividend yet, and we hear that it will be released very, very soon. So pending this is what we have for you for UBA for now. All right, that is as at FY25, talking about last fiscal year. All right, now the truth about the strength of UBA is that they've maintained very consistent dividends over multiple years, and it's quite popular among income-focused retail investors. Now, why should you watch out for UBA? Number one is their presence across the African markets. The advantage is that it reduces dependency on just one economy. Number two is their cross-border trade advantage. So as African trade rises, banks with multiple country presence would benefit. Now, number three is their youthful retail brand. So it is known that UBA has a broad appeal among SMEs, young professionals, retail banking users, etc. Number four is their dividend potential. UBA has been attractive to investors seeking income and growth balance, right? And that's one of the reasons why people should watch out for it. All right. So if you're looking for potential growth, right, UBA gives you exposure to African banking growth in one stock. And UBA, looking at their regional reach, is one bank that you should watch out for in 2026. And the last but not the least is First Bank, right? First Bank PLC, right? Now, latest dividends that were declared for FY25, or latest profit, declared for FY25. Latest profit declared for FY25. Now, according to the 24 to 25 financial statements for First Bank or First Holding Co PLC, First Hold Co PLC, gross earnings was at 3.4 trillion. Profit was pressured by high impairment charges and loan provisioning during the year. So this means the company still generated massive revenue, but profitability was impacted by cautious provisioning. Now, but let's look at their dividend data. Now, this is the 2024 dividend that was paid. That's FY24 dividend paid in 2025. All right. The final dividend was at 0.6 naira per share. So invariably, that's 60 kobo that was paid out. But they paid out a massive dividend payout of 25.13 billion. And this was a very notable increase from the prior year payouts. All right. Now, I want us to look at the historical dividend trend of First Bank. Now, in FY22, they paid 0.35, that's 35 kobo per share. In FY23, they paid 40 kobo. In FY24, they paid 60 kobo. So that shows gradual dividend improvement for First Holding Co. PLC. Now, why watch out for this stock in 2026? One is their massive legacy, right? So First Bank remains one of Nigeria's oldest and most recognized financial names. Number two is their huge customer reach. So they have a large branch network and customer base that still matter in 2026. Number three is their undervaluation potential. Some investors look at First Holdco as a company that could be worth more if efficiency improves in their systems. Number four is their recovery story. So if the management improves execution, market often rewards turnaround stories. So we're waiting to see that happen. So if you like value investing, if you like to be patient, First Bank might just be one interesting one that you want to look out for. Now, let's look at all these banks that we mentioned by profitability ranking. The one that is ranking the most profitable among all of them is Zenith, right? Zenith, which has the last confirmed profits after tax of 1.041 trillion naira. Now, followed by GTCO at 865.75 billion naira. This is for Zenith Bank and GTCO. For the rest, we do not have their updated confirmed figures yet, so we cannot compare their FY24 figures with what we have for Zenith and GTCO. Now, let's look at the ranking by dividends. Right now, by dividends, you need to look out for Zenith at 10 naira per share, GTCO at 12.76 naira per share. UBA, Access are also ones for you to look out for as well. Now, if you were to build a 2026 Nigerian watch list, right? Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to group it in this way. Stability plus dividend. If you want stability and dividend, go for Zenith and GTCO. Look out for these two. If you want growth, look out for Access and UBA. Put more interest in them. If you were looking for recovery, then put your focus on First Bank. Now, the risks in 2026, because even top banks can face risks, right? And some of the risks that were foreseen that they might face in this year is one, recapitalization dilution. We're looking at FX pressure with a high rate of increase in the dollar to naira exchange rates. We're looking at regulatory changes. We're looking at change in policies, rising default, inflation that is slowing borrowing. But here's the thing. Many Nigerian investors focus only on share price. Smart investors look out for profits. They look out for dividend growth. They look out for management quality. They look out for capital strength. Because the truth is, a stock price moves daily. A business creates wealth yearly, right? And the whole aim of investing is for wealth creation. So if you're serious about Nigerian stocks in 2026 and you want to have a closer look at the banking stocks, and if you want to learn how to analyze profits, how to analyze dividends, how to analyze balance sheets, how to analyze the financials of any company, right, and be able to buy quality stocks with confidence, then you need to come aboard our How to Make Money from Stock course here in the Naira Academy. And if you're interested, just leave us a comment in the comment section. Just comment stock class and we'll get to you with all the details. My name is Chukwuemoki Onyenezi and I'm the founder of the Naira Academy. We're hoping to see you in our next video.